Right, so one of you guys asked me a question in my Telegram group. Pause. Notaron como dije asked me a question? This is something that is very frequent in language learning, like English learning. The verb ask, if you say it isolated, if you say only like the word ask, you do pronounce the sound k, right? Ask. But when you use it in a sentence, oh, that's another thing, sentence. You reduce it and say sentence. But when you use it in a sentence, you don't really say ask, right? Like one of you asked me a question. No, it sounds hard to pronounce. One of you asked me in the group. It sounds very difficult to pronounce. So this is a tip. The tip is, do not omit the T. Don't say, one of you ask me, because a lot of people say it like that. One of you ask me in the group. That sounds like you failed to take the verb from the present to the past. So what you have to do is, instead of omitting the T is the sound that tells that the verb is in past, omit the K. The K is silent, asked, right? So instead of saying asked, right? Because it's a lot of consonants, s, k, t, right? And then the from asked me, so it's s, k, t, It's 4 consonants together. To make things easier, to make the sounds flow more gracefully. Why did I say gracefully? To make the sounds flow more gracefully, don't use the K. So one of you asked me a question. Sounds better, right? So one of you guys asked me a question. Can you hear the difference? Instead of trying to say, one of you guys asked me a question, that sounds terrible, right? But you have the option to say, one of you asked me a question, right? All right, that said, one of you asked me a question in the group, and it's about contractions. So I think this person, he probably watched my video. You know that I made a video about contractions like 2 weeks ago. But I'm looking at the message. I think it's still, maybe I didn't really mention this in the video, but the thing is, when you have words like them or him or her, let's use the example tell, okay? We don't really pronounce let me try to explain it. So instead of saying tell them, diles a ellos, tell them. You can say it like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it sounds more natural if you say, instead of tell them, you don't use a t, right, in them, or you don't pronounce the in them, and say tell him, right? So from tell them to tell him. Sounds better, right? Like it sounds like sounds are flowing more better, more gracefully, gracefully. I think that's the word that I can think of. The word that best describes this feeling of like a stream of sounds, right? Flowing in harmony. So yeah, tell him. Can you say tell them? Sure, you can. Do people say that? Some people tell them. I guess like if you're angry, maybe you can say tell them. Yeah, tell them now. Maybe. But tell them. Yeah, tell them is definitely the option that you want to choose in this case, all right? Tell him now. I think even if I were in a situation where I would have to like yell this phrase and sound angry, I would still not say tell them. I would say tell him. Okay. What about him? Yeah, so this is also very frequent. Instead of saying tell him, don't pay attention to that, right? Ignore it and just say tell him, right? Mark, I don't want to use these contractions because if I do, people are going to think that I'm butchering the language. Que están fileteando, están convirtiéndose en carniceros del lenguaje, del idioma. That's not true. People say it like this. People say tell him. I guess some people say tell him, but it's in like very, very specific situations. Maybe like if for some reason you have to say a phrase word by word, yes, tell him. When would that happen? When would that happen? I have no idea. But yeah, tell him. That's the most natural way to express it. Tell him. I don't recommend it. Tell him, right? The next one, her. It's the same. Don't try to say these words separately. Don't try to say tell her, right? It's tell her, right? So ignore the H. Tell her. Let's change tell and let's use a different verb. Let's use love, right? Love them. Love them. Watch out. Aguas, ¿eh? No van a decir love con la O ni con la B de bueno. Love. No, it's love. Love. Love them. Love them. Love him. Love him. Yo lo amo. I love him. Right? Don't. Let me think. Can you say I love him? I love him. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say I love him. No. Maybe like a couple times, but it sounds very strange. Like not natural, okay? I love him. Mm-mm. I love her. Maybe I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. I like that better. I love her. You can say that, but I love her. Again, like you can say it. There's nothing wrong with saying I love her, right? But it's like you're adding, it almost feels like you're adding extra sounds. I know that there's nothing extra because the word is her, but it almost feels like that. So people are more used to hearing teller, lover, helper, right? Instead of tell her, love her. It sounds a little strange if you say it like that. But again, nothing wrong. All right. And then, I think, okay, so there's a lot of theory here. And then it says, no formales en escritura académica profesional. Ahí debes usar las formas completas. Them, him, her. Yeah, that's true. Like, only if it's escritura académica o profesional. Like, you're not going to write an essay using these reduced forms because you can get penalized. Yeah. I guess it depends on your... Okay, so it depends on, like, yeah, if it's an essay, then that's formal writing. You will get points off if you use these reductions. But if you're like texting a friend, like, let me think. I think like if I say tell him, yeah, if I'm texting someone, I don't use these reductions, not because, I mean, the only reason I don't use them is because my phone, I don't like it predicts the word more quickly if I don't use a reduction. But yeah, these are not very common to see in text, right? Formal and informal. All right, so let's practice these three. I saw them yesterday. That's a long form. The reduced form would be I saw him yesterday. I saw him yesterday. I saw him yesterday. Tell him the truth. Okay, tell him the truth. The reduced form would be tell him the truth. Tell him the truth. Right, truth. And you end with the th sound. And then give her a chance. Give her a chance. Give her a chance. Give her a chance. So, okay, here's the conclusion. En resumen, son reducciones informales del habla, yes, creadas por economía del lenguaje, usadas todo el tiempo en la vida diaria, pero evitadas en contextos formales. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the phrase contextos formales is a little bit problematic to me because even in a formal context, you can use these reductions when you're speaking. Yeah, not when you're writing, but in like spoken language, you definitely use them. Yeah. All right, let me know if this was helpful. You definitely want to use contractions, reductions as much as possible. That's what makes your English sound more relaxed, more natural. And again, I think I've already mentioned this in my previous video about contractions, but if you have this feeling that I don't want to use contractions because, right, let me try to explain why I think, or what I think our brain is doing, which is why it's sometimes hard for us to use contractions. So there are a few reasons, and most of them, we know them, like contractions are not the easiest thing to pronounce or to decodify, like to understand when someone's using them with us in a conversation. But like unconsciously, I think our brain is trying not to use them because we don't want to have them in our world, right? Like we know contractions and reductions are not easy. So we try not to use them because we think that in that way, people will not use them with us. But that's not the truth. That's not reality. So yeah. I guess the bottom line is, that's a phrase. The bottom line is, the conclusion is that contractions are necessary. Don't try to force yourself to use them. They will come eventually. But in the meantime, I think it's a good exercise to like see them, identify them. Like this member in the Telegram group, he found, I don't know where he took this from, but yeah, he found this text. He wanted to hear my opinion about it. And so, yeah, that's my take. All right, I think this is enough practice for today. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. And if you want to support my channel, I have my pronunciation course. And if you know about someone who might find these videos helpful, let them know, right? Tell them about my channel. All right, that's all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.